am here with a humongous book haul. This is a collective book haul. I've accumulated these books over like the last 7 months because I haven't filmed a book haul since then. So I haven't just like recently bought all of these. And I just filmed this and I was almost finished and like my card malfunctioned and I lost the footage and I was like 40 minutes in. First book is The Raven King by Maggie C. Vetter. Pretty much my most anticipated book of the year, and it came out a long time ago, months ago, and I read it. And I loved it. Obviously because it's like one of my favorite series, but it just lacked a little something. It was kind of anticlimactic or climactic. It was still great. I still really loved it. I love the characters. That's what made me fall in love with the series, was the characters. I also really love like urban fantasy, that genre, but the characters, man. Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I don't know why I kept going with Cassandra Clare. I was on like BookTube autopilot where I was like, oh, new book by that author's out, better buy it. New book in this series, better buy that because I read the first one. Like, even when I don't really love the books. And then I bought this and I realized I'm not the biggest fan of Cassandra Clare. Also, this is overkill. This is like 700 pages. This story could have been done in like 400. This is too much. I think she's just milking this whole Shadowhunter world too much a little bit. And also the whole drama with the, like, her and everything. I don't know how I feel, and I probably won't read the next one. I probably won't pick up more books by her because I didn't like this book. The Hidden Oracle, book 1 in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan. Good old Uncle Rick. This is a new series about Apollo being punished by Zeus, and so he's turned into a mortal, and then he goes to Camp Half-Blood. And I thought it was alright. Apollo is like this raging narcissist who, by the end, starts to redeem himself a little bit, has a few redeeming qualities. The Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. Now, I only recently read these two books, Dark Shade of Magic, and then this one. And I absolutely love them. It's like one of my new favorite series. I haven't read books that I loved so much in a while, like these ones. Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which I haven't read yet, but I can't wait to, because more Victoria Schwab, please. This is a more recent purchase, only like a few weeks ago. A Quarter of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is a hashtag regret purchase. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Now, this is the first time I filmed this. I took all of the stickers off, but this book was only $10. Kind of why I was like, ooh. I took all the stickers off of these books already because some of them were cheap. I just read Miss Peregrine's like 2 months ago maybe, and I had bought this book months ago, like 4 or 5 months ago, so before I read it. This is an instance where, I mean, in some cases it really pays off buying books in advance because you read the first one and you're like, wow, that's amazing, and you have the second one on your shelf and you can read it right away. But this is one of those cases where it was kind of bad to do that because I really didn't like Miss Peregrine's. I finally read it, finally got through it. I've heard nothing but people raving about it for years. And I read it, and I really didn't like it. Next we have The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. This is a book about a guy who, every time he, like, dies, he goes back to the beginning of his life. Until one time, this girl, like, says that she has to send a message back with him. Like, I don't know. I don't know much more than that. We've come to the section in this book haul, which is going to be called Books that Lena Norms from Just Kiss My Frog has persuaded me to read. Lena is a booktuber and YouTuber. She does other videos too. Our channel is Just Kiss My Frog. She's great. She makes great videos, great content, and I think she's a great person. And some of the books that she's recommended in the past that I've read, I've really enjoyed. Geek Love by Catherine Dunn, which is not about geeks in love. It is the story about a carny family who are like in a circus, and these this married couple decide they want to make their own circus family, and so while the wife is pregnant, they experiment with drugs and all these things, and they have these deformed children, and they have this like albino hunchback daughter who the story is being told by years later. She's recounting her life and everything. And there's also like an aqua boy who is like fish boy, and they're Siamese twins, and this whole thing, and it's really disturbing and creepy, but like interesting. And I don't know, I read the first like 13 pages back when I got it, and then I had so many books on the go I had to set one down, and I haven't gone back to it, but I'm excited to when I can. How to Build a Girl by Caitlin Moran, which is a book about a girl who's like 14, and after she humiliates herself on local TV, she decides to reinvent herself. I think the last of books that Lena persuaded me to read is Wicked by Gregory Maguire, which is a book told, it's like The Wizard of Oz, but told from the perspective of the Wicked Witch of the West. And it's a series, and it's like, I think it was made into plays, not plays, is that what they're called? and it's really popular, and literally like 2 or 3 people at the bookstore while I was like reading it and packing it around to buy it were like, oh my god, yes! Let's do graphic novels, because I have a bunch of them. And I don't buy graphic novels much because expensive. Saga. And I picked up all 6 volumes over the last few months and read them all, and wow, it's like the hype, man. For the last few years I've been hearing nothing but incredible things about this series, and I was like, and I would look at it at the bookstore sometimes and be like, I'm not interested. And finally I took the plunge and I bought the first volume and I read it in like a day, and I was like, I need the next one right now. The other graphic novels that I took the plunge and purchased was Mouse by Artspeakable. This is the little box set of volumes 1 and 2, which is the complete thing. There's a lot of writing involved. There's a lot. So it's almost like a novel just with lots of pictures. Like, it did take me a long time to read this, but I finally finished volume 1 recently, and it's incredible. And it's basically Art Spiegelman's father is telling him the story of Nazi invaded Poland and his life and everything. At the end of volume 1, him and his wife are going to a bad place. And I don't know what's going to happen in volume 2. City of Thieves by David Benioff. David Benioff is one of the producers of the Game of Thrones show, set during the Nazi siege in Leningrad, and these 2 prisoners are about to be executed, but they get given the choice that if they can complete a task, they won't get executed. And it's basically they need to secure a dozen eggs for the Soviet colonel's daughter's wedding cake. And it's like they're in a siege city, it's the middle of winter, find a dozen eggs, basically impossible, but they go on this quest to find some eggs. Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson, which is a mostly true memoir, and she's like apparently like a blogess, as it says. Popular on the internet. I hadn't really heard about her before her books, but I don't know, I read a little bit of this in the store and I laughed out loud and I thought this is gonna be a great read. I haven't read it yet. The Opposite of Loneliness by Marina Keegan, which is a collection of her like essays and writings that was put together after her untimely death, which is really sad. And apparently she was an incredible writer. A Month of Madness by Susan Callahan, which apparently is this like, it's this memoir. She wakes up in a hospital strapped down to the bed and like can't move and can't talk and having no idea how she got there. And this was kind of an impulse buy. I didn't really think I was going to buy it. I haven't heard too much about it before. My Life on the Road by Gloria Steinem it's like a memoir about all of her traveling and everything. It's Wanderlust, A Love Affair with 5 Continents by Elizabeth Eves, which is a memoir kind of about her life and traveling the world and having this incredible wanderlust. And the first 45 pages that I read, there was a lot of her just wanting to travel and not actually traveling, and kind of if I skip ahead and like skim, a lot of it seems like just her traveling for work and like I don't know, it wasn't exactly the travel I was hoping for, and the way she tells it just isn't enthralling me. Also, like, my morals are being compromised. Like, this whole book, she's like cheating on her boyfriend, and like it's okay because he would want me to be happy. The Lost Girls by Jennifer Baguette, Holly C. Corbett, and Amanda Pressner. And this is a memoir that 3 friends wrote. They're nearing their 30th birthdays, and they want to go and travel and see the world before they're, you know, tied down with that house, that mortgage, them kids, that husband, all that. So they're going to travel the world, and they travel to 4 different continents. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I wanted to read, and so I picked it up in this really nice edition because I love these penguin eggs. Oh, they're my favorite. They're so beautiful, and like the spines are gorgeous. They look so amazing on your shelf. I also got Moby Dick by Herman Melville, which is one that I've really been wanting to read a lot over the last year or so. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. There are always so many books and movies where someone's reading Little Women or talking about Little Women or something, and I just want to read it. This one, I'm so stoked. It's the Sherlock Holmes, the novels, obviously by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I love Sherlock Holmes. Obviously I love the show, but even before the Sherlock show was a thing, from a young age, I just had a fascination with Sherlock Holmes. I've read A Study in Scarlet and Sign of Four, which is the first and second, and then there's The Hounds of the Baskervilles and The Valley of Fear. And I love this cover because it has all the illustrations from the stories. Like, it's so awesome. All of the rest of the books in this video, I'm going to power through them. They're all used books. All books that I got for just a couple of dollars. There's like 5 of them that I got. I was at some used bookstore and there was like 5 books for $5. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie, which is kind of an autobiographical novel. It's kind of inspired by Sherman's childhood. The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey, and I still haven't read it. Also, I have the first book in hardcover, and this one's a squashed paperback. And I don't know. It doesn't really go very well on the shelf. It just kind of so misshapen. I don't know what they did to this poor book. And I've heard that people don't really like The Infinite Sea. Like, the series kind of goes downhill in the second book. Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. The second book in the King Killer Chronicles. Yep. Oh, it says King Killer Chronicles Day 2. I have the first one also in this same edition, used as well. Haven't read it yet, but I know I will. The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. How do you say that? Which is about something about a bookstore. I've just heard a lot of great things about it. Wool by Hugh Howey. What would you do if the world outside was deadly and the air you breathed could kill? And you lived in the place where every birth required a death, and the choices you made could save lives or destroy them. I read the first sentence and I was like, holy crap. Do you want to hear the first sentence? The children were playing while Holston climbed to his death. You could hear them squealing, as only happy children do. Last book is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is a book set in deep heart of Oxford's Bohemian Library. A young scholar is a descendant of witches, and she unearths an enchanted alchemical manuscript. That's the end. That is all the books. I couldn't even try to hold all of these up. It wouldn't happen. Hope you guys are all doing well in your reading or whatever you're doing in life, and hope everything's going great for you. And I'll be back soon.